In this video, we're going to be covering the rhomboids. We've got two parts, A and B. Okay, we'll start with part A. Rhomboids attach here, medial border of scapula. They point toward the head. So if you look at the rhomboid fiber orientation, it's this way. We have knots in the rhomboids closer to the scapula. As the muscle fibers move up, it flattens toward the spine. Okay, so the meat of the muscle and the problems are by the medial border of the scapula. You'll feel little individual little knots that I call grapes. Okay, and I call grapes because we can actually squish these grapes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find that first one. Now, if you look at the inferior angle and you come up right off of it, this is all rib. Okay, so we don't want to be here. This is all rib. The muscle doesn't start until here. C7, T1, 2, 3, 4. So we're looking at here. Try to stay off that bulk of the muscle. So I'm going to find this first grape here. Paddle my thumbs right on it. I'm just pushing it down in the table. Okay. And then I'm just going to release, move up to the next one.
Now, how long are you holding it for?
I'm just holding it 3, 4, 5 seconds. We're just going to put some pressure through it. And within that time, you can feel it smash. It'll actually pop on you. The first time, it might be a little weird, but when you get those popping, then you want more. Right, so I'm just moving up. Okay, you'll get 3 or 4 of them, and then just pressuring, pushing through, and releasing, and letting the blood flow, and then just moving up. So here we go like that. Okay, that's how you do it.
Oh, these actually feel amazing.
It does. It feels good.
All right, so we're avoiding the ribs, you said?
Avoid
Ribs coming up.
You can see where the bulk of the muscle starting to happen.
Bulk of the muscle, right? And then we're going over a small little hill. Oh, I feel it.
Yep.
And then we're gonna move up.
Just release and move up. Hold it.
Now, how much pressure are you putting? Should I put in?
Pretty good amount of pressure. Yeah, these rhomboid muscles are problematic. As most people know, our shoulders tend to pull forward, our pecs get tight. Everything gets pulled forward from gravity, and so these muscles are trying to pull the shoulder or the scapula back into a neutral position. So a paradoxical muscle in that it's contracted but in a lengthened position, so what we call an eccentric contraction. We don't see this in too many muscles in the body, but if you can picture the shoulder blades going out, those muscle fibers are actually lengthening, right? As we curve forward, we're lengthening our rhomboids. So we have to get these back to a normal, happy resting length.
And some of these get a little harder than others.
They do.
I'm gonna use a dummy thumb.
So use a dummy thumb.
Or use my pisiform with that thumb.
That's great. Okay, again, this is part A of the rhomboids. We're gonna show you part B in a moment. Okay, and again, I've never met anybody with clean rhomboids. They get messed up. So we just did part A of rhomboids, which is squishing the grapes with our thumb. We're gonna actually come in, same thing with an elbow. It's a little trickier because there's bones, right? The medial border here of the scapula, we need to stay off of it. So I gotta find the edge of it and then fall off of it onto those grapes again. And then what I'm gonna do is compress them down and then push them away from the border of the scapula. So it's gonna look like this. I'm gonna fall off the edge, compress, and push. I'm just pushing a little bit because if not, I'm just gonna go popping over a bunch of tissue and flying everywhere. Here, push. Here, push, okay? So in my case, I'm gonna have to use my left arm because the sleeve's on my right. When Joe does it, he's gonna get his right arm on it. Okay, again, fall off the medial border, establish my pressure. I'm on my elbow. I'll take up my form a little bit so you can see, and then I'm just gonna push. Okay, and I'm gonna release. I'm moving down towards his feet on the next grape. Elijah, are you okay? It's important not to start too low where the rhomboids aren't because you'll actually end up on the ribs. So if you look at the anatomy, I'm gonna just pull his arm up here. I'm gonna pull this inferior angle out, and you can see there's not a lot of tissue right here. So we have to start in the bulk right here. His fibers run towards his head. So if you start too low, you're just not on them. Okay, medial border, you can see right here. I'm getting between his muscle and the border and just gonna push the tissue away. So I'm working his attachment, and then pushing away. So whether it's my thumb or my elbow, it's the same idea. I'm just getting in between and pushing these guys away. Joe Lewis is going to show you with his right arm. It's a little bit easier. I just showed you the left arm. You guys have to be flexible depending on what side. So I did my left arm. I'm facing his feet. Joe's going to use his right on these rhomboids facing his head. There you go.
So it's just gonna come here. Medial border, you wanna avoid that. So you're going in between the medial border.
And watch how low you start. You're going to end up on this rib heads if you're a little bit too low. Right in the middle of the muscle, great. Establish down, push away.
Push down and away.
There you go. That looks great.
Then we're traveling up.
Yep. So you reestablish your contact just higher and push away, just like you did. And great, and reestablish a little
How are you
higher.
doing, Elijah? Doing okay?
Next knot up. Great, looks good.